The VS-2480 has set a new standard for digital production workstations. With 24-track playback, 64 channels of automated digital mixing, motorized faders, up to 8 stereo effects processors, WAV file importing and sequencing, mouse editing, and a VGA output. This studio offers truly unprecedented power. And now, Roland introduces version 2 software for the VS-2480. This software upgrade adds mouse-based editing and system control on the VGA output, as well as advanced waveform graphics. The combination mouse control on the monitor, dedicated hardware controls, and the stability of a portable dedicated workstation makes the VS-2480 series the best choice for music production today. Roland's software upgradable VS series is exactly what producers need. Roland pioneered workstations with CD recording. Starting with the original VS-880, CDs have become the standard for burning audio or archiving projects. And once again, Roland kicks it up a notch with a 24-track tabletop recording studio with built-in CD recording, the VS-2480CD. The VS-2480CD's built-in CD-RW drive and 80-gig hard drive makes the system more portable and simple to use. From the first sound recorded to a finished CD master, music production is fast and easy. 24 tracks of 24-bit digital audio with 384 virtual tracks, a 64-channel digital mixer with 17 motorized faders, full dynamic automation, and dynamics processors on all channels is just the beginning. The expansion slots hold up to 4 effects expansion boards, giving you 16 simultaneous effects including Cosm guitar amp, speaker, and mic modeling. 24 phrase pads store phrases and loops for use with the built-in event sequencer. 36 inputs and 32 outputs include 2 R-Bus ports, word clock, and SMPTE. Bidirectional dot-wave capability provides full computer compatibility. And users can burn audio CDs, load loops, and archive to inexpensive CD media with the onboard CD-RW. Version 2 software is included on the 2480CD for full drag and drop mouse control on the built-in LCD and on an external monitor. All this makes the VS-2480CD simply the best and most reliable portable production studio available today. For today's digital music production, it's exactly what you need.
Let's take a look now at our next topic, new version 2.0 system software, and this is where it gets very interesting. What we're looking at is a direct VGA output from the VS-2480CD. The goal with this software was to make it possible to operate this machine exclusively from the mouse and the VGA. So there are, at the top, transport buttons for start, stop, rewind, drop-down menus for all of the VS-2480's different tools. On the left side, track names and mutes. I can select and mute a group of tracks, as well as solo buttons if I want to solo out the drum kit. I just start soloing, I'll add in the bass, and then when I want to clear the solos, it's just a matter of clicking down here at the bottom to clear all solos instantly. Also, there's a dropout menu for both the 384 V-tracks as well as the 100 locators and 100 scenes per project. If I want to go to the first verse, I just click and I'm there. I want to go to the end of the song, click. I'm at the end of the song. The VS-2480, for editing purposes, we can take a look at tracks in several different views. I can zoom in to show waveforms right on the VGA screen. And notice on the left side, I have the ability to control channel strip settings for each of these tracks, including EQ curves at a glance and dynamic settings right on the playlist view. And then for the ultra-precise editing, it's just a matter of clicking and dragging with the mouse to do an erase. All the editing is completely non-destructive. There are 999 levels of undo. And notice these undo levels are date and time stamped. So it's just a matter of going back to the last edit that you did or the type of edit you did and undo it. And now the edit's back. Now the audio is back. For other types of editing, I can go back to the multi-track view and simply click and drag with the mouse to move or click and drag and shift to make a perfect copy of a segment. Very, very simple to use. Let's go back to our full screen view and take a look at another incredible tool that is in the VS-2480, which is a built-in real-time analyzer. And this is standard equipment in the VS-2480, where with other systems, you'd end up paying, you know, $400 or $500 for a analyzer plugin, an RTA plugin, and this is built right into the VS-2480. If I go and solo just the bass here, we can get an idea of the RTA curve for the bass. I can add in the drums and then bring everything back into the mix. There's our RTA. Now let's take a look at the 2480's Patch Bay. With 36 physical inputs and 32 outputs, the rule with this machine, anything, anywhere. I can use my patch cables, click and drag with the mouse to assign any input to any track for recording, and I can assign different aux mixes to my headphones to create custom headphone mixes for my band. My drummer needs to hear more of the bass guitar in his headphone mix. The lead singer wants to hear lots of vocals with reverb. 2 completely independent headphone mixes. Simple. Let's do some automation. Speaking of mixing, the VS-2480's 24-channel track mixer and 24-channel input mixer provides a total of 64 channels of fully automated mixing. Let's take a look. I'm going to do a quick mix of this project using the faders 1 through 4 and also 15 and 16, and it's just a matter of simply rewinding back to the beginning and pressing play to start the mix. So I'll fade up the guitars, fade down the guitars, do some fader movements here. Now the cool thing about this is you don't have to be Bob Clearmountain and get the perfect mix on the first try. If you make a mistake, there's a couple different ways to update. Let's just take a look at the mix that I just did. And notice, no hands. The VS-2480's automation is doing all the work for me. But you know what? I faded up the faders 15 and 16 a little bit too late. I was just a little bit too late there, and I want to fix that. I could go back and update, or here's a cool way to do this. I can pop in a view of automation data right on the screen. And this automation data actually is overlaid on top of the waveforms of the tracks. So I can see the fade in here that I did on track 15 was a little bit late, and I just click, drag, and position it to the new position on the timeline. Incredibly simple. I can take this section and erase it, just click, drag. All the editing tools that are available for track editing are also available for automation editing as well. Let's take a look at the mastering room in the VS-2480. The mastering room is, of course, where we would take our multi-track recording and mix it down to stereo. And in here, I can insert effects and then go in and select from the 250 plus different effects offered on each of the 8 stereo effects, pick our mastering toolkit, and actually go in and hand tweak all the values and all the parameters of the mastering toolkit using, of course, the mouse. Okay, now I want to show you something completely different. The VS-2480 has 24 phrase pads and a 24-track phrase sequencer. And by importing .wav files, I've actually taken some files from my discrete drum CD. This CD has 24-bit WAV files both in multi-track format, separate files for a kick drum, separate file for the snare, for the toms, but also stereo mixes of complete drum kits. And so what I can do is I'll use the stereo mixes to assemble a full-length drum track. Now, I'm working on this song, and the song's about 7 minutes long, and I've already mapped out in advance by song structure that I'm going to need a one-measure intro, a couple verses, a chorus, a couple more verses, some fill, and then an extended section for solos. And by using the VS-2480's phrase pad playback, I've got those different elements right here under my fingertips. Here's my intro. Here's a verse. I've got a one-measure fill and like a crash ending on pad 11. So to use the sequencer to build my full-length drum track is just a matter of deciding which section I want to play in which order. So how about I'll do something like this. to crash. And I just sequenced the drum kit, and here it is. First verse. Right, seamless. A second verse with a variation. This is the VS-2480's phrase sequencer used with loops from discrete drums. Great tool for building full-length drum tracks in seconds. I can assemble a 7 or 10 or 5-minute song in about 30 seconds or less. The VS-2480CD has a built-in CD burner and an 80 gigabyte hard drive, and the software that I've been running is version 2.0 system software. This will be available for the VS-2480 as a free upgrade from the Roland US website.
Roland. What you need.